Welcome to Divine Femme TV. My name is Sarah Rose, and this is another channel message for the Divine Feminine Collective. Please just take what resonates. Not every message is meant for you, so use your discernment. And if it doesn't resonate, there is an entire playlist that I will link in the description box below and also at the end of this transmission. The message that's coming through is for Divine Feminines that know in their bones that they are meant for sacred union in this lifetime. The message that's coming through, if you have been activated on the twin flame journey and you have truly been treating this as your ascension journey, which is what it is, you are destined for a divine counterpart in sacred union in this lifetime, which is confirmation for what you already know to be true in your heart. And this may be your awakened divine masculine twin flame, or it may be a high level soulmate. Now, if you are earlier on in the journey and you're still binging tarot readings like crazy and trying to figure out how to get your divine masculine twin flame to come back to you, and you're focused on sending him energy and holding space for the divine masculine template to heal, and staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning watching videos about twin flames and what you can do about this connection, then what I just shared with you is going to be highly triggering because you are still stuck in the addiction. You are still stuck in the fantasy. You are still stuck in the romantic narrative that is force fed to you on this twin flame journey, as if this is some kind of 3D romantic connection or soulmate connection, which it is not. Your twin flame is a mirror, which is why they come in and they trigger the shit out of you and they mirror back to you all of your deep-rooted abandonment and unworthiness wounds. This is because the ego consciousness, fear-based consciousness, loves to ride on top of fear-based conditioning. It makes it very easy to keep you trapped in victim consciousness, which is what fear-based consciousness is. It keeps you trapped in seeking outside of yourself safety, security, validation, and approval, and love, and abundance, and everything outside of you. And it is a hamster wheel that you will not jump off of until you treat this journey like the ascension journey that it is and begin to come home and embody your awakened divine feminine essence. If you're earlier on in this journey and you are still addicted to the twin flame narrative and you are suffering and seeking this twin flame band-aid to put over your bleeding wounds of abandonment and unworthiness, this is a natural part of the journey. So there's no judgment here. I've been there. This is a natural part of the journey because you're being cracked wide open. And at this time, it may seem completely unfathomable to you that you could be completely neutral on whether or not your twin flame returns, or if you end up in sacred union with a high level soulmate. But you move into a very neutral place on this journey, which is actually a sign you're moving into union energy because you're now embodying more of your neutral, grounded presence, meaning you're no longer being hooked by the mental realm, bouncing back and forth between the polarities of good and bad. You're no longer seeing it as good or bad. You're no longer trying to chase pleasure or avoid pain, and you're no longer living in your mental projections, meaning future potential outcomes that you're attached to, and memories of the past that you're either ruminating on or trying to avoid. Basically, if you haven't noticed yet, the mind will keep you very busy bouncing back and forth between past and future. Past and future don't even exist. The only thing that exists is now. You're only experiencing those projections of the future right now, and you're only experiencing memories of the past or ruminating about them right now. So the mental body keeps you living in this conceptual reality. It's like a layer, for lack of a better word, above your true reality, which is here and now. The mind will keep you hooked in this conceptual reality, bouncing back and forth on a linear timeline of past and future, which is 3D reality. When you are here, present, living, embodied in your awakened feminine essence, there is no time. It is just now. There's no future projections that you're giving your power away to. You can still plan now in the moment for some future now moment, right? So you can still book a flight to go on a trip 3 months in the quote unquote future, but you're never going to go on that trip in the future. You're only going to go on the trip now. And so I know this sounds paradoxical, but you've only always been here and now. The only time you ever escape, in air quotes, escape here and now, is when you jump up to the mind, and that is just illusory, is it not? Are you really going to the future in your mind? Are you really going back into the past in your mind? No, you're just projecting into the future or remembering the past, but you're doing it all now. You're always here now. So what I'm sharing with you right now are the cheat codes for this twin flame ascension journey, because if you get this, when I say get this, I don't mean understand it. I mean when this clicks for you, that here and now is your power. This is the portal to all of creation. It is prior to form. It is the I am conscious presence that is always here and now, that you are. Simultaneously, you are a human expression. You are an expression of this one source, but ultimately, that's illusory as well. And when I say your human expression is illusory as well, that doesn't mean it's not real. It doesn't mean you deny your humanity. Illusory means simply that it's not as it seems. When something is illusory, it is not as it appears. As an example, you appear solid, but really you are frequency and energy. At the subatomic level, you are energy. You are more spaciousness than you are actually matter. It all traces back to the one. All roads lead home to the one. So if there's for argument's sake, there's 8 billion people on the planet, there's 8 billion expressions of the one, all having an individual experience. So if you want to have like a quick visual, look at your hand for a second. You have 5 fingers on your hand, right? And they are one with the palm of your hand, with your hand, right? Like your fingers have an individual expression, but they are also the hand. So you have a hand, and the fingers are part of that hand, and they have an individual identity, you could call it, right? They have an individual expression. Your fingers are an individual expression of the hand. Does that make sense? So ultimately, things that appear separate, like you have 5 separate fingers, things that appear separate are actually all one. And to take it a step further, your hand and your fingers are not solid. They appear solid. They are frequency. They are energy vibrating at a certain speed. And the spaciousness that you see between your fingers is actually full of atoms and molecules and energy. So there is no separation. You're literally living and breathing in a sea of energy as energy. And energy cannot be cut and portioned off, right? There's no separation between energy and frequency. There can be different speeds at which it vibrates and different qualities that it can take on, but it's all energy and frequency at the end of the day. Even the spaciousness that you see is alive. It's full as energy. So what you see as a divider between you and someone else, the spaciousness between you and another person, is actually the great connector. It is not empty, it is full. There is no separation. The thing that's coming to mind right now that I'll share, I think it was from Neil Donald Walsh, I'm not sure. So if I'm misquoting this, please let me know in the comments because it's been forever. Conversations with God is one of the only series I read during my spiritual awakening in 2000, between like 2008, 2012. But I believe he described it like this. Like, if you think of a house with many different rooms, the air in the room. So think of like a two-story house. You have rooms upstairs, you have rooms downstairs, you have kitchens, you have bedrooms, you have bathrooms. And as you move through that house, you can have different experiences, different qualities to the room, right? You can go into the living room and you can smell the fireplace or hear the music. You can move into the kitchen and smell the aroma of food, right? You can move into different rooms and have different qualities of experience in the air, right? But ultimately, there's no separation between the air in the kitchen and the air in the living room or the air in the bedroom or the air upstairs, right? It's all connected, it's all one, but you can have the experience of different qualities. So that was just coming to mind, so I wanted to share that. The other thing that was coming to mind was a quote from A Course in Miracles, which I didn't read except for like the first chapter or whatever, and then I randomly one day opened it to just a page. I was asking for guidance, and I always used to do that, just trust and know that I'm going to land on the right thing. And so, interestingly enough, I think one of the first lessons of A Course in Miracles is nothing is real. Okay, so that's obviously very pertinent to the messages coming through here. But one day I opened up A Course in Miracles and landed on one line, and it said, "Only in the mind can two be joined. Only in the mind can two be joined." This says everything. This is exactly what I've been referring to. So let's break this down. You might already have this clicking for you, but only in the mind two can be joined, because only in the mind can two be separate. Separation consciousness is identification with the dualistic mind, where there is a you and a them, right? The dualistic mind, where there is a subject-object relationship, this is where two can be joined because they appear as separate. So if you're approaching, for example, the twin flame journey from the mind, the dualistic mind, you will see this apparent other person as someone separate from you, like this is some kind of connection. And you will play out this dualistic play of separation consciousness, and you will be stuck in the hamster wheel of suffering, because that's not what this journey is about. This journey is about transcending the dualistic mind that's rooted in fear-based separation consciousness and coming home to the truth of who you are at the core of your being, which is the love that you've been seeking this whole time, which is one with all that is. You are the conscious presence. And as you begin to fully embody this, it's like a waking down experience, because you kind of wake down and embody this deeper and deeper until you're living from it and as it. At first, on this journey during the mind awakening, you will feel more as if you're the witness, because you are awakening to everything that you are not. You're not the body, you're not the mind, you're not the projections, you're not the labels, you're not the thoughts, you're not the memories, you're not the emotions, you're not your name, you're not your roles. So you're waking more to what you are not. And this infinite intelligence, let's say, begins to permeate your being, because you begin to realize that you're not all of those other things that used to keep you hooked. You now are opening your channel to fully wake down and embody your divine presence, which naturally begins the heart awakening. And the heart awakening is where you realize everything that you are, which is everything, which is the love that you've been seeking. The twin flame journey, you are a chaser. If you're listening to this, right, you are the chaser, and you think that your twin flame, your divine masculine, is the runner, but essentially you are both runners, because when you are chasing them as someone separate outside of you, you are ultimately running from yourself, which is why they can only mirror that back to you and run from you. You are running from your true nature, your true self, when you are chasing love outside of yourself, because you are the very love that you seek. This is why I believe it was Alan Watts said something along the lines, when you finally realize that you are the fabric of existence itself, you are life itself, you will laugh yourself silly, because this whole time you've been chasing it outside of yourself, when ultimately you're already it. This is why it's paradoxical. This is why it's the journeyless journey, the pathless path, the gateless gate, because you are already home. You've never left home. This is a journey that you go on until the journey is no longer necessary. At a certain point, the journey just no longer becomes necessary. And as the journey no longer becomes necessary, because you are being the one, you are being one with all that is, you are it, you become naturally magnetic to everything that is a match for your highest timeline. You become a match for the abundance and the love and the prosperity and the success and all of it, because you have come into union within yourself, the place where you are already one with it and you are not separate from it. So it must come to you. It is law, the law of one. If you want to dive deeper and you want support in shifting from suffering into divine sovereignty on this journey, and you are serious about shifting into your highest timeline and magnetizing everything that is meant for you, including, yes, sacred union, but you are doing this because you are committed and devoted to treating this like your ascension journey, then I welcome you to join me inside Embody the Empress, which is my signature Divine Feminine Awakening Embodiment membership. It is literally a no-brainer. It's $47 a month, and you get weekly calls every Saturday with me that are live channeled activations and sacred integration calls. That being said, I have a little special spoiler alert for you. I'm going to drop the link for Be the One bundle. This is a bundle that's normally priced at $122, and you can literally get it for $22 right now. Wherever you're listening to this, there will be a link. The spoiler alert is, if you opt in to Be the One bundle, not only do you get it $100 off, you immediately get access to upgrade into receiving Sacral Sovereignty for $17, which is normally $122, I believe. Sacral Sovereignty is all about purifying the toxic imprints that are stored from past relationships in your womb space and sacral chakra. So this is key in being able to awaken your dark feminine energy, healing toxic shame, releasing past hurts, pain, betrayal, anger, and this allows the Shakti energy that's rising within you to really begin to flow, which is going to awaken your intuition and your creativity, and you'll naturally begin to embrace and embody your sacred sensuality and sexuality. So, this is really key in activating your dark feminine energy and preparing you for sacred union, because when you do come together with your divine counterpart, it will be from purified energy. You will be purified on all levels. You won't be holding on to these denser negative energies that are weighing down your frequency and are still rooted in wounded energy. Just on a side note, this is also why many divine feminines find themselves being called into self imposed sacred solitude and celibacy. This is all part of purification and preparation for coming into sacred union with the divine counterpart. You'll also get the opportunity to upgrade into the live event that I'm hosting on Friday the 13th in June. I host it once a year on Friday the 13th. It's called the Forbidden Feminine Black Cat Edition. It's normally $133. You'll be able to upgrade into that for $33. Again, saving $100 on your ticket to the live event. So this is going to be a very potent live event focused on reclaiming the lost and forbidden sacred feminine essence within you and unleashing your magic and the mystery that lies within you and really embracing your dark feminine essence. And then last but not least, if you do opt in to be the one bundle, when you log in, you will receive a link that allows you to gain access to Embody the Empress on a 30-day trial for only $9, which is amazing. And then if you decide to stay after that first month, it will be at the regular rate of $47 a month. So I think that's it for the special announcements for now. I hope you got value from this episode. If you did, please drop me a comment. I would love to hear from you. And until next time, I hope this finds you well. Namaste.